What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. Boys, how's the Super Bowl hangover feeling? Are we sad that football's done?
Sad boy, bad boy.
I'm sad also, but baseball's one of my main sports, so I'm not too sad about it.
There you go.
Where are we with baseball
Thoughts
right
on the
now?
Super Bowl?
Well, yeah, that's a better question.
Well, hold on.
To answer your question, Chris, pitchers and catchers just reported for duty.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're getting kicked off. And Dave, you do spring training, right?
No, I'm not going this year. I have before. I've been before. But if you say I've decided I won't try out for anybody this year as compared to the last couple of years. But no, I've been twice, but I'm not going this year.
Okay.
I wish. Dude, I love going to spring training. It's just like the smell of the fresh cut grass and the sound of baseballs hitting bats and just
the crack of the hood.
Not a lot of people around either. It's a really
Nice
chill
glove
environment.
Nice glove.
A lot of glove pop. Oh my gosh, there's not a
The
whole
old
lot
man
like
standing in center field, popping that glove, waiting for the home run.
it. Yeah, exactly. But
The snap of the leather, God, it's nice. But back to the Super Bowl.
Let's
Super
talk some
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
What did we think, boys?
it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen.
For some reason, I thought it was the most boring, entertaining game of all time. If that makes sense. Like, it was really
It
good.
wasn't until like
Explain.
the fourth quarter I feel that like it really started getting interesting.
Yeah, it was just like defense turnovers, but then they couldn't capitalize on the turnovers, and then things like finally got interesting towards the end. And so like it was an entertaining game, and even the first half of the game was still entertaining, and it was just defense oriented, and they just weren't scoring a lot.
See, luckily for me, I was out of town. I was in Memphis and was driving home and got home about 7 minutes left in the third quarter. And so I saw all the good part of the game. I didn't see.
Oh yeah.
I know. Like, it was perfect timing.
I mean, even like you said, Chris, like, yeah, there was a lot of defense. There were some turnovers, but like even the turnovers were anticlimactic. Like, they were like, wasn't like an incredible play that led to a turnover. It was like Patrick Mahomes overthrew a guy by like 20 feet, just went straight to the defensive back. Both of the fumbles were like not big hits or anything. It was just kind of like scrums, and the ball got pulled, and then it like immediately was followed by a 3-and-out, and they would just punt the ball back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
At no point in that game, though, was I like not convinced that the Chiefs were going to win.
That was kind of my thing, because I was listening to it on the radio, and I was like, okay, the 49ers seem, based on what I was hearing, they seem to kind of have been dominating the game, without putting them away.
Right.
That's exactly
And
what was
so
happening.
at halftime, I was traveling with my dad, and at halftime, I was like, the 49ers blew it for themselves because they're only up 10, or no, they were up 7. Up 7 at halftime. And I'm like, they sound like they've been dominating this game, and if you don't put them away, Patrick Mahomes is going to come back, and they're going to win this game.
That's what happened at the very end of it too. It's like, why would you go for that field goal when we know what Patrick Mahomes does? He comes down the field with the game on the line, under 3 minutes, and scores touchdowns. That's what he does.
Yeah. But I feel like the 49ers didn't, and Adam, I know you feel this way too, like they didn't blow it because they were never like blow a big lead because they weren't ever that far out in advance at all. And I've seen people saying they collapsed and all that, which I know you said that too.
That's the word I've been hearing a bunch is the 49ers collapse again. I'm like, they were up at most 10 in the second quarter against arguably the best quarterback in football. Like,
yeah,
a 10-point lead that's not that much of a lead to warrant the word collapse.
Hold on. Also, arguably the best quarterback in football right now. I mean, I think
for sure right now.
Yeah, hands down. I mean,
I'm saying just in general.
Ever. We'll talk about
arguably the best to ever do it.
But yeah, I mean, I think more of and collapse isn't even the right word, but where I said this a minute ago, where they kind of blew it was by not putting them away. Right. Not by collapsing. Like, they didn't blow a huge lead.
like you said, you were listening, but even if you were watching the games, watching the game, it's not like it was just like a bunch of missed opportunities. Like they dominated in the stat sheet because they would maybe get like 3 first downs and then have to punt, where Kansas City was just doing like 3 and outs there for a while. So it's not even like they were getting into the red zone and having to settle for field goals. It was like they would put together like a 40-yard drive and then it would stall and they'd punt. So like they were dominating but not dominating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was like, there's a couple weird things that happened during it, right? The injury on the sideline is huge.
Yep.
The kicked punt is huge, where it hit off the foot. I am like, I could have told you that they were going to miss that second field goal because that first field goal they made from like, what was it, 65 or 55?
55.
That
not
one,
65.
that thing was a low duck. Like that thing was lucky to go in. And so once they saw that, they were like, okay, yeah, if we get our hands up and we can get in the lane here, we can get a block here. So I don't know.
Poor
That
Moody
changed the
also.
game. That
Poor
changed the
Moody.
game.
Had a record for an hour and a half.
Now,
And then old Harry Butts.
Yeah.
I will say I'm on Travis Kelce's side. Where was he the whole game? Like I feel like he wasn't even getting double teamed and stuff. They just completely I feel like they game planned for expecting Travis to be double teamed the whole entire time. So come up with a plan to like not really to use him as decoys and not get him the ball. How many receptions did he have? Does anybody know?
Well, he ended the game.
He ended pretty decently.
In
But
the first half, he had
one or
target.
two.
One
Or
target.
two. Yeah.
So that
He
was
had
what I
one
was kind of
target
thinking.
for 1 yard.
9 receptions.
Yeah, he ended the game okay.
And 93 yards. But that's what I was kind of wondering, because I was wondering if that was the game plan of like, well, let's not use Travis Kelce at all in the first half so that they change up their game plan to put a little bit less pressure on him. And then second half, next thing you know, you come out and we start peppering Travis Kelce, and they've kind of changed their defensive script a little bit. And so now we have a little bit better luck with Travis Kelce. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was curious if that's what was going on.
Well, and I guess he was mic'd up or something. When you say you sided with him, you meant like how he blew
Yeah,
up
he's
on.
like, I'm here.
Andy
I'm
Reid.
here. Use me. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. After hearing the mic'd up, it's not as bad as what it looked in the moment.
I didn't even think it was bad in
I
the
didn't
moment.
think it was bad.
Like,
he just caught him a little off balance.
I feel like you see a highlight like that pretty often.
Yeah.
It's just because it was Travis Kelce. Like the Super Bowl party we were at Mitch's parents' house, and some of like Mitch's parents' friends were like, I can't believe he'd do that. I bet you he doesn't play the rest of the game. Like that's such an embarrassing look.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's dumb.
it's like that happens on the sidelines probably 10 times a game between coaches and players. It
Especially
just so happened
Kelce.
to be Travis Kelce, and he bumped him.
Yeah, and they bump into each other all the time. That's like what they do, is they bump into each other. He was a lineman.
I hear you, and I don't think it was bad. Like, I'm not taking that side, but it was definitely not normal. Like, you don't normally see a guy bump his coach like that. I've never seen that.
I disagree. I feel like I've seen that several times.
Yeah.
I can't obviously like pull out an example and be like, oh, do you remember when X player did this? But I feel like maybe not bump, but like head coaches get in players' faces all the time, and sometimes players give it back to them. Like I feel like I've even seen players and coach go like forehead to forehead, which I think is a bigger deal than one bumping the other one.
Yeah.
See,
well,
I feel like
ahead.
I've actually seen Travis Kelce like bump into him just like playfully a couple times, even just this year. Like that's just kind of how they're like friends. That's just kind of what they do, I feel like. And I think he just caught him off balance a little bit this time, and it looked worse than it normally does.
Yeah.
Well, and because I was in the car, I was having to like follow along with a lot of stuff on like Twitter and stuff. So I saw like players. I guess that probably shaped my opinion a little bit too, because like Tyreek Hill tweeted and was like, dude, if that was anybody else, they'd be sitting the rest of the game. He wasn't even saying it as like, he clarified later, he wasn't saying it like as a shot at Travis Kelce. It was just more like, because he is who he is, he's going to be allowed to stay in this game. And Chase Daniel said, which I don't even know how he ended up on my Twitter, but he was like, anybody on this team other than Mahomes or Kelce, and they're sitting the rest of the game.
But like, I don't think that's an abnormal take. Like, when you've built up that kind of persona on that team
rapport
and in
with
the
your
locker
coach.
room, like with their with your coach, like they know the type of competitor you are. Like I saw AJ Brown tweeted, he was like, if I did this, I'm like kicked out of the league. I'm like, no, you're not.
They got him a
You
box.
could do that to Nick Sirianni week 3, and the next drive you'd have 5 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Like
They told him they were getting him sneakers, and then he opened the box and there was a burger inside of it. Like they mess around with each other. They prank him. They have fun. Like,
well, yeah, obviously, if the backup if Chris Jones did that to Andy Reid, they're not playing Chris Jones, and then after the game when they're like, the Chiefs, you lost the Super Bowl. Your defense got torched on the run after you benched Chris Jones. Do you stand by your decision? He's like, I'm a man of integrity. You can't do that to me. Like, you would look like an idiot. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
Obviously,
especially
you're not going
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, obviously, you're not going to bench any of your best players. You wouldn't bench any of your starters. Like, Harrison Butker could go up and kick Andy Reid in the nuts, and it's not like they're not going to send him out there to do field goals because you need someone to kick field goals. Like
Harrison Butker.
I mean, it's not a good look, but
that'd be awesome. No, I hear you, and I mean, like I said, I think my opinion was probably skewed because I was sitting there scrolling through Twitter and people were freaking out.
Obviously.
Like they were like, "This is." We've talked about it on this pod multiple times with news and all that stuff and how that can skew your opinion. And I think that's what happened.
This will kind of perfectly trickle, I feel, into like a next topic of conversation around the Super Bowl. But like a couple people at this party again, they're like, ooh, what do you think Taylor's going to think of that? Do you think it'll change your opinion of him at all?
No. The only thing that Taylor would have changed Taylor's opinion was that look she had on her face when he was up
Las
on
Vegas.
the Dude, when they panned to her, she was like, what is he doing?
She got the ick live on camera.
I saw that post. I was like, and it's not even wrong. Like, just look at her face.
It looked great. It looked great.
What the hell
is he doing?
For the number of time, every time they showed Taylor, it was Blake Lively stealing the show.
Yeah, gosh.
Blake Lively looked amazing, if I'm going to be completely honest.
You can be completely honest on here. We're an honest spot.
Yeah. This is an open forum for you to be completely honest, Dave.
And if you don't think Blake Lively looked great at that Super Bowl, then you're lying to yourself and everyone else.
Do we know who that other girl was that was with them?
Just the other blonde girl?
Just other blonde? That's her name?
I think that's just other blonde girl.
Yeah. I think that's her manager.
No, I think that's other blonde girl number 2. You'll see it in the credit. You saw it in the credits after the Super Bowl. Actually, they just casted her for the role.
Yep, blonde girl number 3, and then Ice Spice looking a little uncomfortable the entire time,
looking like she just didn't really know what was going on with football.
Dude, what a suite though! You have You have Blake Lively, Taylor Swift, Ice Spice, blonde girl number 3, and then you have Jason Kelsey in the back wearing overalls. You got his wife, is her name Kylie?
I believe that is correct.
Hiding. No one even could see her. She's hiding in the back somewhere. Like, kind of wild. Where was Ryan Reynolds?
I think Robert Kraft stopped by at some point. I saw a video of him talking to Taylor.
And I saw Roger Goodell.
Oh, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. That's what I meant. Because Portnoy tweeted it, and he was like, "I hate this so much."
I know, because he's a big Taylor Swift guy and a big anti-Goodell guy. Yep.
Oh, that's funny. In terms of commercials, though, guys, I have a couple qualms that I'd like to address. Dr. Pepper. That is an old commercial. I've been seeing that commercial forever. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a good commercial. That's my Dr. Pepper hand. That's funny. I get it. But it's the Super Bowl. Why?
I don't think I remember that one.
I know. I don't either.
It's that the starting quarterback is being pulled into some warp. The transfer portal. The transfer portal is getting out of hand. Their starting quarterback's falling in there, and he's like, "Give me your hand." He's
that
Give me
one.
your
They
other
showed
hand.
that one.
And he's like, "That's my Dr. Pepper hand," and he lets him go. And they're like, "You can't give up your Dr. Pepper hand." But that's that commercial has been out since the beginning of the season. So I don't understand why they would spend money to play that at the Super Bowl. Like, get a new commercial. The other things I have are like A Quiet Place 2. Why are they advertising?
Quiet Place 3.
Yeah, why are they advertising that? We're all going to go see it. The first 2 were great. They don't need to advertise that. Like, what are they spending their money for there?
Easy for you to say. The Twister sequel, I saw that preview during the game. and I'm going to see that. I love Twister, the original, the OG Twister.
See, but like I do agree with Chris though that like movie previews, I get it. Like there's never more eyes on the TV than during the Super Bowl, but like if I didn't watch the Super Bowl, I would still ended up seeing the Twister trailer. Whereas if I didn't watch the Super Bowl, maybe I wouldn't have seen a product commercial.
Maybe they have some data that backs it up on their reasoning. I just thought that was odd. And then the DoorDash, all the ads commercials, that I missed probably. I probably spent an hour afterwards getting that whole entire promo code entered onto that site. It was legitimately the entire code. So like that, all that text you saw on the screen where it was like waving and stuff, that was the code. You had to write all of it in there. And they still haven't released the winners. But I'm hoping I win. It's $438,000. I'm one of them. I don't know how many people there were. I'm one of them.
There was probably, 138 million people were watching. So you're bound to not be the only one.
What would you guess on people that completed it?
5 probably.
Yeah, 30. I was going to say 37, but we'll go with 5.
But honestly, I don't know, probably a couple thousand.
Yeah, probably like 15, 25,000 probably. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. Who knows?
People started tweeting it out later on too. The Duncan was funny.
The Duncan commercial takes the cake for me. I thought that was hilarious.
I think that was a good one. The CeraVe commercial was funny.
Was good. That was funny.
It was pretty good.
I loved the Paramount Plus one with Hey Arnold. That one made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they throw up on the cliff.
Yep. Super Bowl commercials just aren't what they used to be, though.
No.
Well, and I hate how they like leak them beforehand now, and like
me too.
It's not what they used to be. They used to be so good.
Yeah, and I mean it's because like back in the day when Super Bowl commercials were like at their peak, social media wasn't as big of a thing, and just like the digital era of television wasn't as big. So like companies would be like, our entire marketing budget this year is one Super Bowl commercial, whereas now you're going to hit your most relevant audience by just targeting them on social media. So like, it's just,
although cookies are going away,
the money doesn't make as much sense to spend it on that when you can probably have just as good, if not better, of a return on your investment by just hitting them, peppering them with retargeting and social media ads.
It's kind of one of those things where you have to do it when you're that big to like play with the big boys, if that makes any sense. Like it proves your dominance in a space more so than it actually gives you an ROI on your investment for that.
Yeah,
but
like honestly, like even more so than just like the commercials. Like I don't remember which Super Bowl it was, but when the lights went out and then Buffalo Wild Wings tweeted like, "Sorry guys, that was us," and like that got them more marketing than probably any ad that ran in the commercial, just because they took advantage of an opportunity and captured that audience on social media.
Which that's just a good that's clever, is what that is.
I'm looking at the rankings right now, and the number one ranked commercial was "Like a Good Neighbor" from it had Terminator, and that was okay. I don't think it was number one.
No.
They ranked Uber Eats 1 4, forget everything else, but remember Uber Eats delivers that. That was Talking the Line, that one was pretty good, where everyone's doing the Christopher Walken impressions.
I liked that one.
That one was good. That one was pretty good.
That one was funny. Yep.
See, to me, it's so telling that you're naming top 10 commercials, and like I'm having a hard time remembering them. Where like I remember in like middle school, you get to school on Monday and you're like, waste a whole class period just like talking about what you thought the best commercials were.
For sure. I'm a commercial guy though. We work in advertising. I'm a commercial guy. I got to pay attention to it.
Doritos used to always have a money commercial, and like their commercial wasn't even bad with like Jenna Ortega and the two old ladies.
Yeah. The fact that they have the mullets Kawasaki, is it Kawasaki? That one was funny, where they're driving that like little off-road thing and they drive by. Yeah. How did I pronounce that?
Kawasaki?
Yeah, that is right. Anyway, where he drives by and then they get the mullet and then like the eagle gets the mullet. That one was funny.
That was good.
I didn't see that one. I need to look that one up. That must have been while I was not
That was an early one.
Yeah.
The beer commercials, I feel like there weren't even that many. Like,
No. Coors Light did the one with LL Cool J. My girl Lainey Wilson was in that one too. I love Lainey Wilson.
I like the Michelob one with Sudeikis and Messi, but like it was just a good commercial. Like it wasn't a good Super Bowl commercial. It was just a nice little commercial.
And then we were talking about Anheuser-Busch one, but
yeah,
the Budweiser one with the Clydesdales that took that one was okay.
Oh, the semi truck's not going to make it. Let's get the horses. We'll be fine in 6 feet of snow. Like, what? The Pluto TV one was pretty funny. The growing couch potatoes, that one was okay.
Mm-hmm. I do think part of the problem is, like, we're also just, like, too rational now. Like, yeah, obviously, like, how you were just like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. The trailer won't get you there, so we'll take the Clydesdales. Like, no commercial in the history of times ever, like, made sense in that aspect. We've
talked about this before. It can ruin movies for you. It can ruin things. But like the thing I always think about is that's someone's job. There's someone on a movie set who's a continuity director that makes sure things make sense. Like the timeline makes sense. It makes sense that like, oh, this person is running, so they should be sweaty and things like that. Like that's someone's job. So when it's messed up, I'm like, okay, someone missed something there. Like
someone got fired.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think eventually, and probably one of the issues that marketing and advertising people have is they're kind of running out of ideas. Or like,
I have so many ideas. Get me in there, coach.
But they got to be, TV friendly.
I can make TV friendly commercials that are funny.
You need to pitch some ideas then.
Okay, I will.
That'll be next week.
You give me a brand, I'll bring you a commercial idea next week.
All right.
You text me a brand after this.
Tune in next week for
little deep tease.
Yeah.
Last thing on commercials. Temu had 3 commercials. What's going on?
I know.
That's a fake
Where
business.
That come?
They're not even real.
I've ordered stuff from there.
Did you get stuff?
Yeah,
Did it show
I got
up?
it all. Yeah,
was
I
it
got
like
lights
okay?
For my fam. I mean, it's cheap. You get what you pay for. I got 8 landscaping lights for $12, and they work.
It's nice.
Great deal.
I know.
But yeah, Temu had a lot of commercials. Jesus had a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he gets us.
Jesus washed some feet.
His advertising budget's just a little bit bigger than what I remember it being.
Mm-hmm. My favorite is like when
he had a good fiscal year.
I love when when you get to the local spots, like there's like that like short amount of time during the game where like you can buy local ad buys, and the commercial quality just goes off of a cliff. It's just like some old like personal injury attorney is like, if you've been hurt in a wreck, call me at Jansen Law. We've been defending public servants for 70 years. Like, it's so funny.
I know. Well, that's exactly what and it's always lawyers too.
Yeah.
Like,
so the only ones that can afford it.
It was the end of the third quarter, and who shows up? Brown and Crouppen in St. Louis.
Yep.
But I mean,
someone asked this question. Do you know, like, let's say that game went to double overtime.
Yeah.
Like, what do they start rerunning commercials? Then at that point, is it probably just your local networks commercials?
I bet it's local network commercials.
Okay.
I'm thinking. I don't know, but I bet it is.
That's my guess.
Or the CBS sold some spots to like at a much lower value, and it was like, hey, if this game goes to
like overtime, they had a contingency plan for that.
My guess would be that it then switches back to like a brand or company that signed like a year-long contract with the NFL, and part of like their stipulation was like, if we have extra time in any of our games, or if we have extra time in the Super Bowl, you will be the first persons to take those slots, and that's like a premium incentive to like sign more of a longer term contract with the NFL. That would be my guess.
Yep. Also would make sense.
Yeah, but who knows? It'd be interesting. It's a good question.
Last Super Bowl topic.
Okay.
What do we think of the halftime show?
Meh.
Did you like the halftime show?
I liked it. I thought it was awesome. I had to go back and watch it, obviously, but I mean, I liked Usher when I was younger. Like I think the first CD I ever had was Confessions Part 2. Like I got that in second grade.
Okay.
So I've always liked Usher. I thought that having Ludacris and Lil Jon was awesome. Alicia Keys hit a terrible first note on her song, but then
She
she
did
kind of
not
brought
start
it.
strong, but she finished strong.
She did. She brought it home. Not an Alicia Keys fan, I'll tell you that.
What?
I have never been an Alicia Keys fan of her music.
Why?
I mean, as a person, I don't have any qualms.
Like, you understand she's talented, though, right? Her music's just not for you? Okay.
Totally. The song "No One" by Alicia Keys is near the top for one of the most annoying songs in my opinion. I hate it.
Wow.
I hated that song.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, that and "Meant to Be" by Florida Georgia Line and BB Rex are two of my least favorite songs ever. But
Okay.
as being like super annoying. But she was fine. I mean, she was fine. She is talented. Yes, I agree with that. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it was great.
I thought it was good.
I mean, it's not going to be making the top 10 lists or anything of all time, but it was better than some that they've had.
A lot of the opinions, like, this was like Kristen's biggest thing. She's like, it's Vegas. I thought it would be like more of a show. I'm like, but for me, that doesn't add any like actual value to the performance for me.
Oh,
like,
see, I thought it was. I thought the set design was really cool. I thought the intro when they were like on the field and there was people doing flips and stuff and acrobats, I thought that was really cool.
She was like, he didn't go up on anything. He didn't like fly around. I was like, what do you want?
Well, he did 3 costume changes.
He was on rollerblades.
Yeah,
Exactly.
which he was not as like strong on rollerblades as I expected him to be. Like there was a couple close moments.
If
where he
you're
was
bringing
like,
up rollerblades at the Super Bowl,
You
I
gotta
thought
be
you were about to
confident.
absolutely kill it, and he was just kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing that I thought was very interesting was the Alicia Keys Ushers interactions. They were getting all
were
up in
getting
each
a
other's
little-
business.
They were in love. I
They were.
think.
And so
They're getting a little
I had to
nasty.
look it up because I was like, is Usher married? And I'm looking at this right here. I don't know if this
He
is
got
a
married right after the
45.
Super Bowl.
Well, it says just ahead of the Super Bowl, 45-year-old R&B singer
Okay, right before.
obtained a marriage license in Las Vegas. So what? That was weird to
that's
me.
going to be a divorce like next week. I mean,
He married his longtime partner. Yeah, like right before.
Is Alicia Keys married?
yeah,
Yes.
because I saw a bunch of tweets about
That was some
that.
good internet content. It was like
Yeah.
Alicia Keys as soon as she got home.
I saw that with the GIF, whatever, however that's
She's
pronounced.
married to someone in the industry.
All I know is we're not the only ones asking this question because there's a lot of
Swizz
articles.
Beatz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's married to Swizz Beats.
What a
Oh,
name.
Swizz Beats. That's T.I. Bring them out. Swizzy.
What
Bring
a
them
name.
out. Bring them out. Anyway,
Another deep
Yeah.
cut.
I saw the tweet with the GIF of Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie where he like whistles and points at the screen.
Yeah.
What movie's that from?
Up.
Yeah, it's like Alicia Keys' husband when those two start grinding on each other. He goes,
Hey. That's funny.
yeah.
I love waiting for like the one big meme that's going to come out about the Super Bowl halftime show every year. You know how there was a shark one. There's always one that comes
Yep.
out. Did you guys see what it
Good
was
old
this
left
year?
shark.
Did you guys see what?
Where he was doing that
No,
one.
it's him and
Ludacris.
Ludacris in all purple, and it's got the dodgeball
Globo
team,
gym.
the Globo,
Yep.
the Globo gym team standing right next to it. And it's
Yep.
like I knew this looked familiar.
I've seen
That
a
was
lot of
funny.
that, and then the one where I was like Usher, like it's after he took his shirt off and he's like at the mic like doing this, and I've seen a bunch of like me when I leave my house making sure I have my phone wallet in my pocket.
I saw that. Yeah.
I also
saw
felt
that
like
one.
Usher did the same dance move like 8,000 times. This little
Yeah.
move, he did that like so many times. I was like, all right, come on, bro.
I mean, he
You gotta
is
have something
45
else.
now. He's not like
True.
he used to be.
True. He also-
is
Go ahead,
sweating. He was sweating like
Oh,
crazy.
And he was not singing that much. There was a lot of track audio being
Yeah.
played because he was sweating and he was gasping for air a little bit. You
Yes.
could tell he
a lot of-
definitely was not in perfect shape for that.
See, but people were saying that as like an insult. I'm like, after like 2 songs at a karaoke bar where I get into a little bit, I'm a little
Yeah.
winded and already sweating
Yeah.
my nuts
Not to
off.
mention
So
all the
I mean-
dancing, a costume change.
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
by verse 2 of Tennessee Whiskey, I'm out of breath usually at the karaoke bar.
I was very interested to know how he got into that purple suit because he was so sweaty before that trying to put on something like tight fitting like that would have been kind of a
getting
nightmare.
Out of that. Also, getting out of that had to be a disaster.
So, did you guys know that you don't get paid for doing the Super Bowl?
I did know that. Yeah, they
I
don't
feel
get
like I
paid to
did
do
know
the
that.
You get
as
paid
well.
in exposure, which I thought was interesting. All the performers get paid like a minimum industry union rate, but they don't get paid anything else above that. But then you have to think about Usher was in 2 of the commercials too about being in the Super Bowl. So that's where he makes his money
I
from.
feel like that's probably why you don't see very few artists in their prime are the halftime performance of the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's kind of the people Usher, I'm sure still has plenty of money and is doing fine for himself, but maybe he's you know what, I haven't been in the limelight in a while. I could use a little bit of exposure. I'm going to do the halftime show.
Who would you guys put on your all-time wish list for Super Bowl performance? Jelly Roll Dave?
No, I love Jelly Roll, but he's not big enough to be Super Bowl.
Has Drake ever done a Super Bowl? I feel like he would be good.
No,
he would be on my list actually because I love Drake.
He would be really good.
I think he'd be great.
One Direction probably.
They'd crush it.
Oh my god!
They made a comeback for the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me?
I think that would be a ridiculous move, though. Don't tell anybody. Say it's going to be like Harry Styles doing the halftime show, and then it's all of One Direction comes out.
Well, if we're going to do that, we should just bring back Backstreet.
With One Direction.
Yeah.
And
just a boy band's halftime show.
All of a sudden, Justin
battle.
Timberlake walks out there with NSYNC.
Justin Timberlake has done one, though, right?
Yeah, he's done one. He's
fairly
done two.
recently.
Yeah. He's done two.
Whenever the last one that was in Minnesota, wasn't he the...
Yeah, I think so. But that would be a wild halftime show. Boy bands battle.
Pretty good.
I know people don't like Kanye, but he would put on a good halftime show.
Dude, Kanye, I love Kanye. I don't love Kanye, but I love his music.
I love the old Kanye.
But, yeah, his new album just came out last week, and it's so far.
What's up with him posting those pictures of his wife, 3 of the same videos in a row? Did you guys see that?
She's a
weird
naked
guy. In a club, and she's wearing a tarp, basically.
Yeah,
well,
that was weird.
It was marketing because that's the album cover. It's her
Still
with
weird.
that tarp on. But yeah, he got into it with somebody at the airport, paparazzi, as always. Because he was at the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But
so this is saying potential candidates for 2025 Super Bowl: Lil Wayne, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift potentially.
Not a chance.
No.
Maybe a K-pop singer. That'd be kind of lame.
Taylor's money hungry. She wouldn't do it for free. She doesn't need the publicity.
Exactly.
Do you guys know the last 5?
Rihanna.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the memes about Rihanna shows up at the Super Bowl pregnant and Usher shows up and everyone ends up pregnant or something? I was like, that's pretty
okay,
good.
so starting in 2023, it was Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and Red Hot Chili Peppers, Katy Perry, Coldplay, Lady Gaga, Justin Timberlake, Maroon 5, Shakira, The Weeknd, Eminem, Rihanna, and Usher. I feel like they could go with a classic rock band. They haven't really done...
Creed's back.
Yeah.
Bring Creed back.
Bring Creed back.
That's what Kristen wanted. She wanted Creed flying through the air with those wings.
That's exactly what I think it's. It might be the perfect time for a Nickelback halftime show.
Can you take me higher?
Did you guys catch any of the SpongeBob, the Nickelodeon broadcast, or do you do strictly the main broadcast?
I saw a replay in the Nickelodeon format, and I hated it. And as I was about to say I hate that so much, one of the girls behind me was like, "Oh, and that makes it a lot easier to see the ball." And I was like, "No, that ruins the broadcast. That's just the worst thing ever."
Wrong.
But they did the Bubble Bowl, which that's sick.
And apparently Patrick completely just roasted Christian McCaffrey when he fumbled the ball.
Patrick.
Yeah, he said something about you got to have a better grasp on the ball.
Oh,
I know.
Patrick Starr doesn't know football.
I know. But all right. I know you said last thing about the Super Bowl, but
All right, what
this
else
is
you
kind
got?
of controversial, I guess. But I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway.
What else you got?
Did you guys see Joe Biden's tweet with those red eyes and talking about how it went to play? That was a wild tweet.
Went exactly as we planned.
I know. That was a wild tweet. I was that.
I think Joe was just trying to have a little fun with it, trying to play with the other script writers, you know?
Is that a joke?
Yes.
I would love to be in the room as the social media director was trying to explain that joke to Joe Biden, and he's like,
"Yeah,
I don't know about this. I look pretty crazy in this picture. Like, are we sure we should post this?" And they're like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's gonna break the internet." Like, he's like, "Well, I don't get it, but okay, post it." And he's like, "Is this going on MySpace? Where's this going?"
Yeah. Oh, it looks like you had the red eye on. Can we take a different picture without the flash? Like, he thought that was just like a legitimate photo of him.
Is this
What
going
happened to my face?
Is this going in the internet?
On the line?
I think you're exactly right.
You take a photo and you put it on the line.
Online.
Like,
on the line. There's no the.
Can we go back to this whole on the line thing?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was just a wild tweet for him to put out there, though.
That was. I'm glad you brought that up, Dave.
It wasn't him,
that
but
was wild.
It was wild to be coming out of Joe's brand for sure.
Everyone's so like, "Is he okay? Like,
Biden,
what's wrong with him?"
From the rafters. Like, okay.
Went exactly as planned. Oh, that was funny.
All right, let's do a little golf talk, and then I have conspiracies for you guys.
Love it. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week about how I said that, like, I feel like the waste management has almost become like too much of a party, and I feel like every single year it's just getting crazier and crazier.
I think they crossed a little bit of a line this year. It seems. I don't know. Like,
I think that this year was kind of a perfect storm, right? Because there was delays, it was cold, so you're just sitting around. There's nothing to do but drink early in the morning. The first thing you're doing is drinking. You're drinking to stay warm. You're drinking because you're bored. And then that's kind of just a snowball effect, kind of perfect storm of why it was a little hectic this year. But I get what you're saying. Like, it is a lot, but at the same time, like, I feel like I could go there and be perfectly fine. It's a choice.
The thing is, you're gonna have a good time there if you commit to it. So, like, we're like, if we went for, let's say, somebody did their bachelor party there, like, we would be the loud, obnoxious people, so it would be fine. But like, if you're going there, just like, I keep bringing it back to, like, if my dad or if Kristen's dad was there on like Sunday of the Waste Management Open, he'd be like, "This is the most miserable experience of my life." But then just don't go because you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. But like, even if you're just like, "Oh, I just want to go," like, there's even a level I'm like, I just want to go and get casually drunk. Like, I think I would still be annoyed with people because like you have to get like next level to be in line with everyone there.
But we're also like we're thinking like green side on, is it 13 or 16? Like, it's 16. Different if you're on like 8 on a fairway. Like,
see, I don't know if it is
surrounded by crazy people at all times. I don't think so.
Well, and I do think at the same time we also see the most extreme on social media, or like the most extreme.
They had
storms.
to shut down alcohol sales. That's not because of what's happening on one hole.
Well, they also had to close the gates because there were too many people there. Like, they stopped.
I saw a video tonight. It was like a bartender in one of the suites. Like, it was the messaging that like they got on why they were shutting down alcohol sales, and the lines are so long. Like, the people at the gates just like gave up and started just letting everyone through.
That's crazy.
So then it was overcrowded. So that's why there were then that many drunk people, and then they had to kill alcohol sales for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, don't get me wrong, I hear you that, yes, obviously what you see on the internet is the worst of the worst, but I don't think those are the exceptions. Like,
I don't even know who won.
I think you see that all over the course.
Do we know who won?
Yeah, Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor.
Poor Sahith just kind of blew it again.
Beetle Chuckles Hoffman in the playoff.
Oh, 47-year-old Charlie Hoffman. Guy's old.
My boy Ricky Fowler, though, put on a show. 6 over, missed the cut. That's my
that's
guy.
what I was gonna say.
That's my guy.
That's my guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a guy on 16 that fell from the rafters, had to get taken to the
That's
hospital.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, and then Zach Johnson getting into it with the fans because they were heckling him too much about his captaincy.
He goes, grow
Did you-
up. Yeah.
He goes over to him, he's like, grow up. He was so mad. He's like,
It's our
I'm sick of
job,
it.
man. We're trying to hit a shot here. They're just like, just blasted. Like, we don't care at all. We're hammered. We're not going to remember this tomorrow.
And one guy goes, sir, and he goes, don't sir me.
I did see a video of a crazy fight, though. Like, they were throwing some haymakers out there.
Yeah, golf fans know how to throw down.
They do.
only the waste management, though.
I know. Yeah, it was crazy. It was out of hand. But I think Chris is right. It was the perfect storm that led to it all.
Well, and I
Just feel
think,
like every year now they're just like, we want to one up it.
yeah, it does get a little bit worse because, like, I feel like 3 years ago, I feel like waste management got a lot of attention, like a lot more so than normal. And that was kind of when golf was again on the uptrend. And so I think waste management drew a lot of new golf fans in right away. And then they also kind of leaned into the aspect of the waste management being a party. So now it's like every year, it's like we got to up the party, right? So it's like it's almost like you got to do it.
Like
kind of.
it almost started with, like you said, like I would say probably like 5 years ago, like it was just 16. Like it was like a normal golf tournament on every other hole, and then just 16 was the only one where people got loud. It was an atmosphere, and now it's just grown and grown and grown. Because, like you said, everyone wants to go to that atmosphere. So now you get all of those people, and then now it's just that's what the whole tournament has become.
Yeah.
I say that, like, obviously, like you said, Chris, like if our guys group went, it would be an absolute blast.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
But like,
we'd be getting after it though.
If for some reason, like Chris and I found ourselves in Scottsdale that week, and just like her and I went, she'd be like, "This is the worst."
That's fair.
Yeah.
To each their own.
But exactly, you just have to go into it with the right mindset.
Yeah. Did you see
With
the,
the right
post
attitude.
that Waste Management put out that alcohol drinks will start at $30 next year?
See if
they're
that,
trying to price
see if
everyone
that
out.
weeds out the crowd.
They're trying to price it down a little bit, which that's not going to do anything. If you're going to
People will
Waste
just
Management, you're
pregame
fine.
the waste management.
Yeah.
Exactly. Showing up hammered.
It's
But-
not like the ticket. It's not like the drink prices are probably just like super affordable. Like people were just showing up drunk and then just using there to keep it. But
That's fair.
all right,
But-
Chris.
You
Give me
guys
the
ready for some conspiracies? All right.
Yeah, what you got for me?
Disney conspiracies. We're going to start with Aladdin. So have you guys heard the theory that Aladdin takes place in a post-apocalyptic future?
No.
Okay, so we're talking about the Robin
It is
Williams
also a new
version.
world.
Correct, that's one point. Robin Williams
Okay.
version.
Right.
If Aladdin was set in the past, how does the genie know who Robert De Niro or Groucho Max are? The genie has been trapped inside the lamp for 10,000 years, meaning the film takes place in at least 10,300 AD. He also notes that Aladdin's clothes are so last century. So it's the thought that Aladdin takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where only like the Arabian countries have survived.
Arabian Nights.
Interesting, right?
I can buy that.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Have you guys heard the Frozen conspiracy theory?
No. I haven't heard any of these, to be honest. I
So-
don't think.
There's an interpretation that the king and queen don't die on the sea at all. What's believed is the queen was pregnant when they set off on their travels, and although the ship is destroyed, they washed up on shore. They have a baby boy and go on to live in the jungle before their parents are killed by leopards. This leaves their
So they
son
think it's
to be
Tarzan?
raised by by gorillas as Tarzan.
See, I haven't heard that one, but I have seen the interconnection of
Yeah.
it's like Tangled, Frozen, and one other all are in the same universe. I don't remember. I think it's Little
seen
Mermaid.
that,
I think
too.
it's Little Mermaid, Tangled, and Frozen are all intertwined.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Snow White and Tangled too, I think. Okay, last one here. I think you'll like this one, Adam.
Okay.
This one is, the theory is that Jafar is actually the good guy. So it kind of turns the whole story on its head, but it's down to the perspective of the narrator. The story of Aladdin is told to us by a merchant who is trying to sell us the infamous lamp. Side note, it's thought that the merchant is actually the genie. So, to create a convincing pitch, Aladdin has to be the good guy. You delve deeper into Jafar's involvement in the story, he could have been much more menacing, but isn't, because he's inherently good. Jafar's issues stem from the Sultan's inability to do his job. Agrabah is rife with homelessness and poverty. The Sultan is aging, but does not have a male heir to continue the reign, and his daughter has no intention of marrying to save the city. So Jafar hypnotizes the Sultan and tries to arrange a marriage between himself and Jasmine to avoid any future turmoil in Agrabah.
That gives me big How I Met Your Mother Barney Stinson vibes. How and he thinks like in Karate Kid, like the Cobra Kai kids are the good kids. Like he watches every movie and has the wrong villain and wrong hero in each one.
Yeah, that is good. That's fair. That's Chris's Conspiracy Corner, presented by World Wildlife Foundation. Quick and easy, because we got some great stuff to get into here. Big lyric battle later on.
We do have a big lyric battle, and I don't think that Let's Learn Sports is going to take that long either. So I'm going away from our quiz format, and I'm kind of going to have this as an open forum. Let's Learn Sports. This is Let's Learn Sports, brought to you by Fanatics. If you need your Super Bowl champion Chiefs gear, if you need any of your sporting gear, you can get that on Fanatics. So what brought up this conversation for me? So we can almost call this Let's Change Sports. But so there's a rumor going around that there is a proposed blue card coming to soccer. Have you guys seen this or read this at all?
I saw it, but I don't know what the explanation or what it is.
So no, I'm not informed in this regard.
What the blue card would be is, like, let's say I am on a yellow card and I commit a foul that probably if I wasn't on a yellow card, I would get one. But because I'm on one, it doesn't necessarily warrant a red. They would give you a blue card where you have to stay on the sidelines for 10 minutes. So it's basically
like going to the penalty box.
It's almost like a penalty box power play in soccer. But like, I feel like that would be an absolute disaster.
I like it. I feel like it was a missed opportunity to go with blue and not orange.
You think a different color would be a better choice?
I think orange is probably the correct choice there, right?
Like the rule,
yellow, orange, red. Yeah.
Exactly.
Am I missing something here? Or why are we throwing blue into the mix?
I think that's perfect.
You're right.
I don't think it would be good, personally.
You don't like the change?
You don't like the change?
No, I do not.
You like consequences for your actions.
Explain.
I just think
you're a man of principles.
I just think it would already, like, there'd just be so much gray area.
Right.
Like, what warrants a blue card versus a red? Like, are we saving red cards for you can now only get straight reds? How many blues equal a red? How many players can get a blue at a time? Like, you'd have like 7v8, which that would get pretty wild, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now that I think about it, even like the 2001 Premier League Championship, when Hasselbeck slid on that guy and got his second yellow, and that was a red for him, that shouldn't have been a red. So I could see that being where that would be implemented.
Exactly.
I just made all that up.
I know Hasselbeck's not a guy. There's not a Premier League Championship game, but
there could be a Hasselbeck out there.
But no, so this warrants the question, like, what are some proposed rule changes that you would like to see in maybe some sports? Like, I think a fun one that I've heard for baseball is, like, Trey, when we lived with Trey, he was actually the first person to bring this one up to me. And he said that he thinks at any point during an at-bat, you can steal first. So, like, if it's a wild pitch, you can just choose to take off to first base.
The Atlantic League minor league division or league, I guess, they allow that in that league. So if there's a wild pitch, you can steal first. I like that idea. No, I think that's a great, and I don't, the Atlantic League.
You're taking the risk. If you get thrown out, then obviously you're out. But if maybe you're sitting on, like, you're the 9 hitter, it's Scherzer on the bump, and he just, you're probably not going to get a hit, and he throws one away.
Well, that's the whole point in the Atlantic League. Part of this is they like test things out. Like, they tested out the pitch clock and the bigger bases and all that stuff. So obviously that's being discussed in Major League Baseball. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I do
No,
like the idea.
I think that's too extreme for baseball. They would never go there, but I don't hate that one.
No, I like that one. I've heard, and I don't support this either, but I've heard the idea of like a shootout in hockey, but in baseball, if it goes like say 3 extra innings and no one wins, then they do a home run derby after 3 extra innings.
Be pretty fun.
I know, to see who wins the game. That would be fun, but it would be like I would be so mad if my team lost in a home run derby. Like
I think I think it might have been Jamie Rivers on 101 ESPN, but he said that every team has one at bat a game where they can send whoever they want to the plate. So like let's say it's like the 7th inning, 2 outs, bases loaded, and your 9 hitters up. You can be like, no, I want to send Paul Goldschmidt to the plate. Like you have one at bat a game where you can just pick who you send to the plate.
Oh yeah, like
I think that would be an interesting one.
Yeah, can you imagine the advantage like a team like now the Dodgers would have sending Shohei to the plate whenever they want?
And I think like something like that would be fun with a lot of sports. Like in football, you get one past the line of scrimmage forward pass a game.
That's a perfect lead into my next thought is we got to figure out overtime in football, whether college or the NFL. Like, I didn't know about the rule, and apparently a bunch of the 49ers players didn't know either in the Super Bowl. The overtime rules
They've walked back on that a little bit, but
like that the rules in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs, I mean, are different for overtime. I didn't know
they not know that?
So that
was
all
huge.
came to be after the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl because they were like, I feel like it shouldn't just end here.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the NFL is the most.
Or it actually might have really came to be after that Chiefs-Bills
game.
playoff
Yeah, that's
game.
what I thought it was. Yeah,
it was.
I think that's actually what it was.
It came up after that. The NFL is the most reactive league ever.
Yeah, they
are. Change everything.
I mean,
but,
I like the thought process of, both teams actually get a chance with the football because this is the biggest game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wish that, we just had some consistency, a uniformed way of doing things.
Well, and then college, they have the crazy everyone gets the ball on the 25-yard line. Like, that's automatic points. But I kind of like it. I don't dislike it and how they do it, but I think the
one
25
thing I
too easy.
didn't like about this format, which we didn't see it didn't get to that, but it was like as Kansas City was about to score, Tony Romo was like, and if you're wondering why Kansas City's not using any timeouts here, it's because this is basically the first quarter. Like if time ran out, Kansas City would have just had the ball and it would have been like the second quarter of overtime with 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He was driving me crazy throughout that game.
Dude just doesn't stop talking.
So over it.
I don't dislike him as much as Chris Collinsworth. Anyway, that's a whole nother topic for another day. But, I mean, I don't dislike the rule the way it was set up. I just didn't know it was the rule. But, I mean, I do think I actually like the playoff overtime format more.
Yeah.
Where both teams get the ball.
Well, I think they're just in that game it matters, but like in the regular season, they're like, we don't need a 7-hour football game.
They're just,
which not that this game was 7 hours, but they're just like, it just doesn't need to be that.
Yeah, because then you run into a situation of like Panthers, someone bad, and then they just no one can score, and you're just sitting there watching.
It's like, do we really need to see both teams get the football?
Yeah. I think in the regular season you would cut it off still at the end of one quarter.
Yeah,
it would just be that both teams get the ball no matter what.
Yeah,
I would go for that. I like that.
Okay, you're open to both teams getting the ball.
If I could bring in a rule change, I'd bring steroids back to baseball and I'll just allow them.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
Why
Straight
not?
to the point.
Like, let's just hit bombs. I want to see bombs. What everybody wants to see.
Honestly, I'm surprised baseball hasn't thought about bringing that back because baseball just wants bombs.
That's all we care about.
They're getting them, though, without it nowadays.
It's true.
But imagine how many we'd be getting with as well.
Right.
I know. They could just juice the balls like they did in the COVID season. Instead of juicing the players, juice the balls.
That's fair.
More Sean Murphy butt home runs.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. Well, there you go. I like
do
it.
it.
That's Let's Change Sports.
Presented by Fanatics. All right, which now leads us into the lyric battle.
With a chance for victory on the line.
With a chance for victory. So,
Both of
boys,
us with a chance for victory if Chris hits me with a clean sweep.
So we did not figure out last place punishment. Do we have the ideas there? Adam, you said you had an idea.
Yeah, I think we do because we just had friends that did the Hot Ones challenge. I think whoever gets last has to just do the Hot Ones challenge mid-podcast.
I agree with that. I like that.
Wow. Okay.
All podcasts. We go like one wing at a time, just like
Yeah. It's
I
what,
like
like
it.
10 wings, so maybe we'll do like a wing every
6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Love
like
it.
that. All right. So last place has to do that. All right. So
And Chris will mail them to you if it's you.
Okay.
All right, so time for the lyric battle. This is presented by SeatGeek, your resource for all your tickets to sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, any other live events happening in your city, maybe even a movie,
Maybe.
but not yet. All right, so to give everyone a little bit of a recap here, me and Adam are tied with 10 points. Chris has 9. Whoever gets to 12 first wins. So like Adam mentioned, both of you could technically win this week. And I am the one that is presenting the songs, so I have those ready. Adam, you beat me last week, so you get to choose. Are you going first, or are you going to defer?
I'm going to defer. I've received every time. I'm going to defer.
All right, here we go. Chris, you're up first. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. First song. First word. A.
Can you spell it, please?
A.
Just the letter?
Just the letter.
Okay.
Pass.
All right. Second word. Going to Adam. Full.
Pass.
All right. Third word. Moon. We have a full moon.
Pass.
All right. Adam, fourth word. Shining. A full moon. Shining.
Pass.
All right. Fifth word. Bright. A full moon shining bright.
Pass.
I think I got it.
Adam was smiling a little bit.
I think I got it. If the next word is what I think it is.
All right, next word is edge.
Full moon shining bright, edge of the water, you were feeling all right.
Damn.
Back down a country road, the girls were always hot and the beer was ice cold.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Barefoot blue jean night.
There you go. Do you know who sings it? You got it right.
Jake Owen.
Bingo. All right. Adam.
One away.
He's one away. He's in 11. All right. Second song. Adam, you're first.
Yep.
I have 2 songs here, and I'm not going to do one of them because it's
an Adam Reich win.
It's a first word like banger, like you would know it. Both of you. I did it on purpose, so I'm going to do my other one.
So maybe I should have received.
Here we go. First word, nonce.
Knots?
Nonce. Nants.
Knots.
Knots?
Knots. I'm going to pass.
Second word.
That's
it. Oh, now I feel like I gotta sing it also.
Oh, and That's not the first word gave it away?
That's not.
Oh,
That's
then
not.
That's not.
Chris, you're sitting pretty, maybe.
Oh, that's the circle of life.
Come on.
Nance
Come on.
Unganyama bagaithi baba. Ya unganyama. Wow.
All right, Chris.
I simply wouldn't have. Oh, and Chris could do it to me.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we go.
You said it's a first. You said it's a first word giver away, or
it's a first word banger for you. I'm hoping,
Ooh.
Chris,
Okay.
because I don't want to lose. But here we go. Here we go. First word. Dua.
Did you spell that, please?
D-U-A.
Dua Lipa? Pass.
Second word. Lipa.
Dua Lipa. I do more with her than do a feature. Come on, Jack Harlow, Dua Lipa.
Bingo. That's it. That's the winner.
I said Dua Lipa.
Yeah, but you didn't say. You just said it out. You didn't know the song.
Dua Lipa. I'd like to do more with her than do a feature.
If you would have given me the song artist, you knew that was the next word.
Okay. But
Uh-oh. Here we go.
what did you just do here, Dave? Because you just you switched, which gave me a point, and now we're tied.
Me and you were tied.
Correct.
Yeah. Do we do a one song for last place?
That's what we said last week.
Oh, is that what we decided? Okay.
Yeah. So now me and you are at a one-song playoff. Look, I just cooked this up for content right here.
So I will say what we did establish was I had to pick the first song off my day list.
Yep.
But I don't feel confident that either of you would know the first song on my day list.
Okay.
How is that possible?
Well, then pick one off of your day list.
How are your guys' song knowledge in moody emo rap evenings?
Good.
It could be okay.
All right, you can pick something else, but tell us what it was.
Yeah, what was it?
17 by Joyner Lucas.
No, I would not have gotten that. I don't even know who Joyner Lucas is.
But
I can do.
big fan
I can
of
do my
ADHD by Joyner Lucas. It's a banger of a
great
song.
song.
I don't actually know any Joyner. I probably do know a Joyner Lucas song, but I just don't know that I know a Joyner Lucas song.
So I will do my second song on my day list. This song has been. We have conversed about this song, all three of us. So I think one of you should be able to get this.
Okay.
God, very hard working.
Chris, how you feeling right now? We need to go ahead and get a vibe check out of Chris right now. How you feeling?
I'm okay. Just happy to be here. I told Adam at the beginning of the podcast that I've been very sick. I woke up with a fever today, so this is basically Jordan flu game. So I need to win this.
Oh, we've all been there, other than Adam. All right, so we all haven't been there.
The most fair way to decide who gets the coin toss here. In that Budweiser bucket is a bunch of Dum Dum lollipops. You think either of you can accurately guess the flavor if I just randomly grab one?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
First to get the flavor correct is what we'll do, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Watermelon.
Don't look, because you've already said.
Oh, he's looking. He's looking.
Did he hear you say it?
The stats say watermelon here.
I think I'm gonna go with grape.
Can't be grape. There's no way it's grape.
It could be grape though.
I'll be livid if it's grape. There's no way it's grape.
I think it's grape.
What did everyone say?
I'm watermelon.
He said-
He's grape. No way
It
it's
is grape.
No way it's grape. No
Yes.
way.
Okay, I will receive.
Okay.
I will
So
receive.
and we're going until you guys get this.
Okay.
The first word, you.
You. Okay, I'll pass.
Second word, don't. You don't. And also remember the name of the day list was Moody Emo Rap Evening before you maybe
Don't
start
you
thinking
want
that
me,
it could be
baby?
something that
Don't
wouldn't
you
fall
want
into that
me?
category.
Oh, don't you want me? No, I don't know. Oh,
Well, you
no, I don't got it. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Third word, even. You don't even.
You don't even. Pass.
Fourth word, care. You don't even care.
Pass.
Fifth word, about. You don't even care about.
You don't even care about me.
That it?
I'll be your Mr. McAdams. That would be Little Dicky, Mr. McAdams.
That's it.
You don't even care about me. Something, something, something. I'll be your Mr. McAdams.
Damn, I've never even heard that song before.
Rachel, I'll be your Mr. McAdams.
From Dave. We talked about this.
Yeah, we just
like
talked
2
about it
weeks ago.
last week, I think.
Never heard that song before.
What?
Tell
What's
me
it
why I
called?
care about you. This ain't
It's
the
new.
movies, but I think you're the one, Rachel. Let me be a Mr. McAdams.
Yeah, I never heard it. What's it called?
Mr. McAdams. Little Dicky. It's new. Ish. You've seen the show. Because you said you loved the show.
I do.
You don't remember that song in the most recent season of
I'm
the
listening
show?
to it now.
When Brad Pitt walks out into the room.
Wait, is there a new season of it out?
Season 3.
Maybe I haven't seen season 3.
You haven't. If you don't remember Brad Pitt being in a whole episode, then you haven't
No,
seen
I
season
don't.
3.
The last one I remember is when they were on the bus. Was that season 2?
Oh, that was season 2. You got to watch season 3.
That's
been out for
great
almost a
news,
year.
guys. I don't care that I lost. I got a whole season of Little Dicky to go watch. Of Dave,
Yeah.
I'm in. That's great news. Wow.
Hi, I'm Dave.
I was going to say, I literally thought we talked about this
We
last
did,
week, but
we did talk about it last
It's
week.
all right.
I think
I
it
mean,
was
it's a
off air.
conspiracy. Everybody wanted Dave to win. Everybody wanted Chris to lose. Everybody hates Chris.
but I
Well,
won.
I didn't win.
I won, and Dave doesn't even get to do the hot ones, which he said he wants to do.
I know. I wanted to do the
So,
hot
Chris,
one.
we're going to have to mail you the sauces. You're going to have to get you some just plain chicken wangs, and then you're going to have to sauce them up
Yep.
live on the pod.
That's
live,
great for me
eat the
because
hot
what I
ones.
was gonna suggest was gonna be a wet bet with milk. So I'm down for a hot ones challenge. So that's not bad at all. So
Oh my
I almost
God.
suggested that, but I was like, I think I'm gonna lose this, so I'm definitely not gonna say that.
Oh,
Wet
man.
bet, but milk. Ugh.
Well, all I will say is, Adam, at some point, for fun, me and you'll have to do, after Chris does it on an episode, me and you'll have to do it, or all three of us, Chris can do it again.
How much
Because
is
I
it?
really do want to do it. I don't know. I mean,
I don't know how much it is.
for the
Let's see.
for the sauces. You don't even care about me.
$120.
120 bones.
Whoa, that's a little steep.
All right, come on. I guess it's like 7 bottles of hot sauce, so that's kind of fair. Are they full size
You get-
bottles?
Not like a sample pack.
You get 10 full-size bottles of hot sauce. So it's $12 a hot sauce, which is a little pricey, but
No, not
But
bad.
it
hot
is
sauces
famous.
that you'll be able to find at your local store.
Yeah.
It's a $136 value that you're getting for $120. So
Just think, you're going to spend so much, or you're going to save so much money, you're going to go broke.
All right, great episode, boys. Good content.
Great episode. Great episode.
victory. Can't believe the
let's go
great
get wet.
Dum Dum Snipe. Incredible.
I know. I said grape. He goes, there's no way it's grape.
There's
Tune
no
in.
way
Let's get
it's
wet,
great.
folks.
God. All right.
But
Thanks for listening.
Let's take us out. Let's take us out with this banger.
I feel like people only see me as this larger-than-life icon, but I'm just a normal guy.
See ya.
Hi. Hello, I'm Dave.
Goodbye.
You might know me.
Bye. He's Dave.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Don't you want to know who I am?
I'm a
We're three
beautiful
pals.
butterfly.
Do you want to know what the industry is like?
Oh.
Three pals with a podcast like, hey,
Dave, you're
hey,
a rapper? Oh, no.
hey, my friend named Dave. Hey.
Oh.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I'm a beautiful